Hello, everyone. My name is Elmer Moore. I'm the project team leader for Scale Up Milwaukee, and we're coming today with another Google Hangout. This week's guest is, well, Erica, why don't you introduce yourself?
Good morning. I'm Erica Conway, and I'm co-owner of C2 with my brother Jim. We're an Adobe authorized training center here in the state of Wisconsin, the only one, and we're also a creative staffing firm. So we place creatives, graphic designers, web designers, copywriters, the whole creative gamut.
And there's a little program that you're participating in right now. Care to tell us more about that?
I'm in the Scalerator program.
Excellent.
Love it. Do I need to
Excellent. No, but we always want to make sure that Scalerator companies identify themselves and, they get a moment to wave the flag. So let's start at the beginning.
It's Erica. There. It's in my...
That's right.
Go ahead.
That's exactly right. So you said you are you are an Adobe certified trainer and a creative staffing agency. What does that mean?
So when graphic designers make things pretty, or web designers make things pretty, they have to use particular software. And our basis for when we were founded in 1992 by the original owners was that Macs were new, the software was new, and in order for graphic designers to move into that new phase, they needed training. And then there were so few people trained that it made sense to put some of those trained people out into the workforce as a staffing firm. So that's the origination of the firm, and we purchased it in 2004.
So when you found this small company in 2004, what gave you the idea that you could grow it?
Well, there were many things. So we were fairly decimated by 9/11, and we went from a staff of like 12 down to a staff of 3. And our clients were not spending, marketing firms weren't spending money. And we thought, if we move downtown, we'll be near our clients. It'll give us credibility because we were in Thiensville. No disrespect to Thiensville, but it's not a creative hotbed. And that's a small company, or small town north of Milwaukee. And we wanted to rename it because we were Mac pros and the software had gone across platform. And we wanted to become Adobe authorized, so we had the support of the software company to get more people in for training. So, and we just knew we could.
Oh, that's the part I want to focus on. You knew that you could. I think the conversation we have with Scalerator companies and inside this Scalerator is how to turn that I know I can to I know how to do it. What was the idea you had about growing, and what have you learned since to actually manifest that growth?
So one of the things we identified up front were our weaknesses, the things that would destroy us if we went forward with this. So the first thing we got was a lawyer, then an accountant, then an operations manager. It was our first hire. And because we knew those things were new, like our faith or my inspiration or my confidence came from the fact that we already had great relationships, and we were one of the few doing this work in the city. So I knew if we could grow the awareness and grow the relationships, that we could really dominate. And we have.
I love hearing that. One of the things that I love it. One of the things I like about you and your business is very often we celebrate the founder expert entrepreneur. The person that's a really fantastic baker who opens a bakery and grows a big business, which is a great model. But you're not necessarily representative of the talent or the operation that your business does. You're a business person who works with creatives. Yes. What's the skill that you brought to your company that allowed it to grow?
So I did not have a background in sales or marketing or any of those things. I was in higher ed. And the thing I brought was a sales, and not in a sales way, but in more of a community building, identification of needs, and then ways to solve them. And I loved the staffing piece because it harkened to the higher ed stuff I did where I was making sure that people were connected to the right resources and able to succeed. So that matchmaking piece is also a natural skill of mine. I have 4 weddings under my belt, was the other thing that played into the success I knew we could have. And why I, am a good fit for my own business.
I love it. So let's talk about your business.
Okay.
How big can you get?
Well, there are 6 national staffing firms working in this market, which means there is so much work available. And so all C2 needs to do is make sure our infrastructure and our internal resources are able to go out, get, and fulfill all that opportunity. So if I can pitch against any of those firms, we can win because we just do a better job of vetting our talent, so a better job of matchmaking. Because we are small enough to have relationships and referrals that are higher quality than a recruiter in California who's telling an agent in Milwaukee, hey, we've got this person that applied and I had a phone conversation with them. Whereas it is a rare time that we ever place someone who we don't meet with face to face. Because I can't stake our reputation on, the phone. It's easier to spot that face to face.
So what I'm hearing is you deliver better customer service. You have started to build an operation or a back office, if you will, that will support larger business or more business. And what I hear is that you've got a stake in the ground. You want to be the trusted expert in this market. Is that clear?
You are frozen. Can you repeat that?
Well, clearly what I said was so brilliant that the internet didn't want to hear.
The internet.
So what I'm hearing is that you want to deliver sort of best-in-class customer service, and that seems to be the case for evaluating the talent that you are going to be distributing, and creating a great experience for your customers.
Yes,
I love that.
And we feel like, in terms of growth, we've identified markets: Orlando, Portland, St. Louis, those 3 in particular, where the climate and the community, and we already have resources living in those communities. So we feel like those would be good places for us, once all this infrastructure and resources are in place, to start exploring having offices. So we have plans.
I love hearing that. I love to hear that. I want to get really tactical.
Okay.
I want you to come up with the 1, 2, or the 3 things that you would suggest anyone uses to grow. Now, I'm going to give you a role-playing situation. Let's pretend you're talking to Erica or someone exactly like Erica 2, 3, 5 years ago. What's the very tactical, practical advice you would give them to grow their business?
Run! No, I'm just kidding. Focus on process and infrastructure. That's not coming from me. That is coming from hard lessons learned and smart people around me. I had someone tell me early, stay small, stay profitable. But I think what that meant to us was do what is profitable consistently enough to then risk that profit on growth. We don't have investors. There's not a cash flow that is external. We're doing that all internally. So, and then get a good bank. Like, find a relationship with a banker that is positive and in tandem with whoever's doing your accounting, so that your vendor relationships are as strong as your internal relationships in terms of how you run things internally. Because if the chips go down, those are the people that you want to know you and like you and be invested as much in your success as you are.
I think that's fantastic advice.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's great. So, Erica, in the interest of keeping these quick and dirty, I think we're going to wrap up. Anything else you want to share with the world before we close?
You know, if I had to do it all again, I would. But I fell ass backwards into it. And I'm super glad that serendipity grabbed me. So if you have the chance, go for it.
I love it. I love it.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to our audience. And this has been another Scale It Milwaukee Google Hangout with Erica Conway from C2.
Thanks, Elmer.
Thank you.